Hey guys, Leanne here on Grady's Mom. I am going to do a quick cooking video today. I haven't done like a cook with me cooking video in a while, and I wasn't originally planning to do this one, but I figured why not, because I know a lot of you guys like soup crock pot recipes in the winter. So this is a ham and bean and veggie soup. That's the best way I can really describe it. My parents make a ham every year for New Year's Day dinner. And they sent my husband and I home with a good amount of leftover ham. So one of the things I like to make is this soup. So I've got the ham that I chopped up here. It's about, I don't know, a cup and a half. And it's just my husband and I who eat it. So I'm only going to use my smaller crock pot. I actually have my larger crock pot out for a different recipe that I'm making. But this is my smaller crock pot. And I wanted to share everything that goes into the soup. It's very simple. So of course you need the ham. So I've got that ready. I've got a can of navy beans that I rinsed and just put in this bowl here, ready to go. I've got some yellow sweet bell pepper, some chopped or diced celery, some yellow cooking onion diced up, and then a couple carrots that I peeled and chopped up as well. So those are the main components. Of course you need a broth. So I'm going to use this free range chicken broth by Pacific Foods. Any brand would be fine. And then for seasonings, you're going to need 2 to 3 bay leaves, some fresh or some French thyme. You can use dried or fresh thyme. I only have the dried. Some garlic powder. You can also put like fresh garlic in if you want. And then some black pepper. I'm personally not going to add salt because the broth and the ham have enough salt. Another couple options you could add into this if you wanted to. You could add a second type of bean, like a cannellini bean or a pinto bean, or a lentil would be nice. I've done that before. You could add a can of diced tomatoes if you wanted a tomato-y based broth along with the chicken broth. You could add a starch, another starch like a potato. You could add like a barley or a quinoa or a rice or a pasta, you know, anything like that. I might add some rice, or I might cook a separate little tiny pot of rice and then add a little bit in. I'm not really sure yet. I sort of do it different every time. Like again, sometimes I add another bean, sometimes I'll add an additional veggie. It really just depends, but this is what I'm working with today. So I'm just going to get all of this into the crock pot. I'll show you what it looks like before I set it and forget it. And then of course I'll show you the final result at the end and let you know if I decide to add in another component or a rice or something like that. Alright, so I lined my crock pot with one of these slow cooker liners. These are food safe and BPA free. I know some people raise an eyebrow to these, and that's perfectly fine. Everybody has a different opinion. I personally like them. I find they do not alter the taste of any of the foods I make. They may clean up a breeze because there's no like soaking and scrubbing and soaking and scrubbing of a crock pot after. You literally just remove the liner after you're done with all the food that is in it, and then just give it a wipe down with some soapy water and it's done. There's no like overnight soak. So I know some people love these. Some people are confused or questionable about these. It's just a personal preference. I personally do like them. You can find them like right in the saran wrap and aluminum foil aisle. They are by Reynolds. So I just wanted to note that first. So I'm just going to put everything into the crock pot and show you how it looks. All right, so everything is in, and then I added the two, actually there's like one large bay leaf and two small, so like equivalent of two bay leaves, and the thyme, the garlic powder, and the black pepper. And then all you're gonna wanna do is just give it a nice stir so that the seasonings and stuff get all the way to the bottom and incorporated through. And this will thicken up nice, and the veggies will cook down really well. And just a really easy soup. It's a nice soup to have for lunch or dinner. You can just do a simple like a soup and salad night. You can do like a soup and sandwich night. It's also good just on its own with like a roll on the side. So I'm just going to get the lid on, and I'm going to cook this on low for about 6 hours, and I will see you guys later. So it is about 5 hours later, and I'm going to go ahead and throw in this little small amount of the Carolina white rice. Once again, you can do barley, quinoa, pasta, potato. You could also cook whatever starch or carb separately as well, and then just add it into each individual bowl. But the day just kind of got away from me, so I'm going to add this. It does not look like much, but rice expands so much that I don't want it to thicken up the soup too much. I want it just to kind of be present. So first I'm going to go ahead and pour this in, and then I'm going to crank it up to high instead of low, and then just let this cook for about 30 to 40 minutes, and then it'll be done. So after the rice was cooked, I went ahead and scooped out a bowl for myself and a bowl for Matt. Just don't forget to take out the bay leaves. You can see one there floating. I did take it out, obviously, and set it aside. And I just topped ours with a little bit of Parmesan cheese and a little bit of black pepper, but you can really do whatever you feel like doing. I hope you enjoyed this quick cooking video. It was just a really simple, hearty soup on this winter day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video.